welcome to the show. Gather round, listen close. We got George, Brock, and J.A. bringing you the most NFL podcast. It's about to go down. Three amigos ready to run this town. Welcome to the Ball Studio, where the fun begins. George, Brock, and Jay talking NFL with their friends. So grab a drink, sit back, let's dive into the show. The Ball Studio, fam, we're ready to go. Let's go.
Welcome back to another week of the Vault Studio podcast. I've gone early. I always do. But I just want to, before I introduce my co-host, I just want to give a big shout out to the Ravens, the general manager, Eric DaCosta, Lacey DaCosta, and their son, Jackson DaCosta. Massive thank you for holding up a sign with my mum's name on it at the Crystal Catch game. I love you guys. Love the Ravens. Ravens flock. Let's get into the show. J.A., who said if he gets any bigger, his hoodie won't fit him. Cap.
Huge.
And we're here with the biggest Brett Summers fan of all time, Big Georgie boy. How are we, lads?
I still don't know what Brett Summer is, but anyway.
You love Brett Summer.
Let's all move on from that, please, immediately.
You've become very uncomfortable about the Brat Summer.
I just don't want it.
Don't you want to have a Brat Summer?
I don't want it anywhere around me.
You don't want a Brat Summer
No,
at all?
thank you.
No, fair enough.
I'm going to have a grown man summer because that's what I am.
What does a grown man summer do? Is tanning?
It's just doing what you got to do, bro. Like what a normal grown man does.
Talking about a grown man that's tanning, let's get straight into Jer, who's
Ooh.
hopefully he's still coming from Italy. But let's get stuck into it. Ravens weekly wrap
Gentlemen,
up.
how are we? Calling from Dublin once again after a brief trip to Rome. A plane full of cheating Chiefs bastards on the way over to Rome. Don't know how I didn't start an argument there. However, let's get on to the rapid Ravens review. Basically, it was a day on the ground, wasn't it? King Henry, Justice Hill, Lamar Jackson, they all had a game. 271 plays, 80 on the ground. You know, says it all. The only thing I would have a bit concerned, the secondary did go a little bit missing towards the third and fourth quarter. Is this what we're going to get from the Ravens this year? I know Mike McDonald was an absolute god, and you can see it in Seattle, and I think we're going to struggle this year a little bit with defense. I just think the communication is not where it needs to be. Hopefully, the offense, this is its ultimate form. This is what the Ravens wanted. We got two running backs and Lamar. We got tight ends who are able to catch. We got a wide out who can take teams over the top. It looks like the offense is what they want. It's singing, it's humming. Hopefully, if we can just sort out the secondary lads' communication problems, we should be there. Anyway, boys, have a good week. James, apologies we're over a minute. Have a good one. We'll be from Milton Keynes next week from a new random location. All the best, boys. Good luck.
Shout out to Jer.
Shout out to Jer.
I fucking love him. He's
a legend.
I just want to touch on him. The secondary.
I want to touch him.
Oh, yeah, I do want to touch Jer.
No, let's talk Ravens.
Let's talk Ravens.
It's a good segue.
Malat's back in the next couple of weeks as well, so that's going to give us some more.
Ivan
Malat.
Wow.
Is he back?
Arthur Malat. He'll
Arthur Malat.
be
Sorry,
back
my
in the
bad.
next couple of weeks, so they'll give us some more depth in our secondary. So I'm not too worried about our secondary. Our defense is fucking good.
Yeah, good internal pressure. That is it Mbarkey? Is it Mbarkwe?
Yeah.
As they say his name.
Mbarkwe.
He's a good interior D lineman.
We
Great
got
pass rusher.
Dogs. You know who's one dog that just keeps getting better with age? Cole Van Noy.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say it.
Kyle fucking Van Noy.
Dude, played on the Patriots Super Bowl teams. He's just not stopping.
He's gone from a linebacker.
Is he the
to
first
D-end.
defensive player to leave the Patriots and be good? And still be adequate?
Oh, I don't know, bro. So he's still looking good, though.
You think about how many guys have left the Patriots and just a dog shit and then are back there 2 years later because no one else will sign them.
Defense is one thing. Man, how fucking good is Derrick Henry? He is unbelievable.
The very first offensive play for the
play
Ravens,
of the game,
80
untouched,
yards.
90 yards. What the fuck, bro?
Longest play in Baltimore Ravens history.
Wow.
That play.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Longest play or longest rush?
Longest play in Baltimore
Wow.
Ravens history.
Nah, it can't be the
86
longest play.
yards. Offensive play.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think you had maybe a kick return that's longer.
I think it was 109 yards in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that Jacoby. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
I
Jacoby.
Jacoby.
I know it's been spoken on before, but how can a man that big move that fast? It's just fucking not fair, is it?
On that touchdown run, the corner kind of comes down and he just takes a step too far to the outside. And it's only a step, and then you see him kind of go, oh no, and then he turns, and then he's like, before he knows it, and then you think, someone's going to catch him here. Like, there's going to be a safety back that's going to get him.
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin,
The
who,
safety.
in fairness, Damar Hamlin's having a really good season. He's actually turned into a really good player.
He
Like,
made a real business decision, not trying.
Business decision.
He wasn't trying to tackle Derrick Henry.
He want none of that smoke, and I
Well,
don't blame him either. Neither would I.
He didn't want to not end up in a Baltimore hospital.
no, but does anyone want to tackle Derrick Henry? So
Not me.
when he gets going, like when he gets at full speed,
No.
have fun. But there's just no one that moves
But
like him at that
it's
size.
not just the size, and it's not just the speed, but how does he cut like that, being that big? It's fuck. I don't get it, bro.
If I could tell you,
Freak.
Swear up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
just cut the swearing, boys.
Jeez. What you can talk, bro. Jeez.
that is
Hot
grim.
Kettle black.
Wow.
I'm the least swearer on this
Anyway,
podcast.
shout out to King Henry.
Well, I
He
just
is
think,
is he the best running back in the league at the moment?
Yeah.
I don't think it's up for debate. Him and Barkley.
Him and Saquon, yeah.
Yeah. Him and Barkley.
I'd say
We'll talk about
Saquon
we'll talk
struggled a
about
little
Barkley
bit, but
shortly when we talk about the
I
Eagles.
don't know. My thoughts on that game was really, really good reality check for the Bills. They were feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a,
What was
hey,
that stupid flea flicker play? They had all the momentum.
yeah.
And they tried to do that stupid flea flicker play. What was that?
Well, they got Lamar to
It's a dumb
fumble
play call.
in the third quarter, and then they scored off it, and then they got the ball back. They got a stop finally, and I'm like, if they score here, it's a one-score
One-score
game.
game,
Like,
that's
this is
right.
on. This is
Yeah,
on.
that's right.
And that stupid flea flicker play,
Whose bonehead idea was that?
I don't know. I just
Terrible.
because when things are working for, like, they didn't need to run a trick play. Like, they didn't. They were going fine. They were driving the field.
Exactly.
They'd kind of got a bit of control back. They were carving up. You know,
They were covering up the secondary. They
my
were.
overall thoughts on that game was the game turned when Allen hit that 50-yard bomb to Shazier.
Yeah.
Whereas on the sideline. And people go, oh, I saw some people commenting, I wasn't that impressive.
Bullshit.
He threw that 55 yards in the air, running away from a defender, not being able to like step any longer because the boundary line was there, just short arming it, going, I was going to throw this down to this dude.
No, he didn't have his feet set.
Yeah.
Nothing. He was just like literally just slung it.
If go and get yourself a football if you don't think that's impressive, and just try and throw it 55 yards first of all.
Like with
Just
your feet set.
with as hard as do
I'll
whatever
tell
you
right now,
want.
You can't do it. You
Try
can't
and
do
throw
it.
it 50 yards, and then run to your right with like sprinting and try and throw it 50 yards. It is
But also,
impossible.
whilst another enormous man is running at you and who gets paid millions of dollars to try and kill you.
Yeah. No, I just think I think the Bills are going to be good, but I said it last week when the Ravens beat the Cowboys. I think it was good for the league. They had a couple of they lost by a toe going out of bounds.
Yeah.
The second game they just played an awful game against the Raiders, which was I think you're going to look back at the end of the season and be like, that's one of the oddest losses for the year. Just one of those weird ones. So
That's
for them to win
Minshew.
their next two,
The
Minshew he has your number.
Ravens actually almost killed Minshew in a preseason game his first year.
Yeah, well Minshew he might be the owner of you guys on Wikipedia
Wow.
because I might have changed it.
I hope it's not there anymore.
No, it would have been removed. It was like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, he's like I said, they had that bad loss, but to win, the Cowboys win, which was a good win, and then they had the scare, and then survive it, and then to come and do that to the Bills, they're back. They're back. They're now only a game behind Pittsburgh. They still get to play them twice. I think there's some good. I think we all thought the Ravens would be good, and that's what we thought they'd be good at.
100%.
No surprise, the last 2 weeks, Derrick Henry's gone off, and they've been able to really pummel teams because the Bills gave them a scare, but inevitably they had to do a lot to catch him, and the Ravens were able to go, well, no, we're gonna. Yeah, it was a bad play call, but they still forced a turnover. That was Kyle Van Noy, pressure act, getting his hand out, flicking that ball. For all we know, that ball leaves Josh Allen's hand. It's a touchdown. The way he throws
playing,
it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Like at that
the way
point,
he-
you don't know. It's the third time in 3 seasons that Josh Allen hasn't thrown a touchdown in a game.
Really?
That's how rare it is. He doesn't throw a pass.
He only passed for 180 yards
Yeah,
as well.
he was completely smothered, and he's the concern. As always, I love Josh Allen, and I think he's the MVP. I think he can be the MVP this year, but the injuries are starting to weigh up now. That arm,
The
the
way he
non-throwing
runs-
arms, heavily strapped.
the way he runs, it's scary. Like, you can only do that for so long and be Superman for so long
Yep.
until that, look what happened to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
The injuries pile up.
Just got to
the hits
calm
pile
down.
up.
It's week 4. Relax. That can't be. But again, we all knew this is going to be the Bills' only avenue because they're not that talented on offense.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, has he just sort of said, well, everyone in the building has said, like, it's on you, Josh.
He has
because
to.
we got,
And he's trying. And I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. I think the Bills will be fine. They lost to a good Ravens team in Baltimore. It's a tough place to win. So I think both teams will be good. But I think it was a good reality check for the Bills. I think it was what they need. I think Josh Allen's going to walk back to that
realised
room Monday and go,
this is that championship
you know what,
level.
we're not that good yet. We've got a lot of work to do. You know, we beat a couple of teams. We looked good the first 3 weeks. We had good moments in the Ravens game, but we let ourselves down, and we need it. If we want to win a Super Bowl, this is a good learning curve for us.
A good smack in the mouth is a good way to not drink too much of your own bathwater.
100%.
I 100% agree with that.
Let's touch on this one. You did mention their names there, James.
Mm.
The Steelers finally fall to a newly toughened Colts. No, Joe Flacco, baby.
Joe Flacco again.
Flax, Flax Sanity 2.0.
If you want someone to come in and ruin your three win parlay, you want Flacco on a team that doesn't matter, doesn't really care if they win.
He just
bang.
keeps doing it. The fucker, I love him, bro.
And that's when they signed him. I believe we all said he will play meaningful snaps then because we know Anthony Richards
is going to get hurt. Yeah.
And he's got hurt. I don't think it's bad. I think he'll play this week.
Okay.
But the fact that they could be like, well, you know what? Let's just let Flacco roll this out. He's playing well.
You know, it was also scary about Richards getting hurt. He went 3 from 4 for 71 yards.
Yeah.
He would have towed him up himself.
Yeah, they were playing well.
No doubt.
But my thing with the Colts are about their new toughness is they had the second most rushing yards in history of the NFL on the first 2 weeks run on them. It was 500 yards.
Yes. Right, yeah.
They've barely been run on the last 2 weeks. A Steelers team, there was a bit of the Najee Harris coming out of the tunnel at the start of the game, and he was given the double bird.
Right,
and the Zaire Franklin, the starting middle linebacker for the Colts, shared the picture after saying who would have thought that would have been, those numbers would have been higher than your rushing average.
Wow.
Because there was some heat in that game. So I think it was a reality check for Pittsburgh. You can't just come in, run over the top of everyone. Like, you're going to need a quarterback that's going to make some more plays for you. And Fields looked a little bit rattled, a little bit under pressure.
Yep.
Colts are undermanned still as well, and they played really well. They said they've found some renewed toughness, and that's what the Colts were last year. That Latu, the rookie, their first-round pick, looks real good. Much bigger than what I thought he was.
You called him for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
No, Scotty had him for Defensive Rookie. I had
yep.
Chop Robinson at Miami.
Right,
Not looking good, boys, just quietly.
Yeah, I thought someone did.
Because you needed to pass rush, you need to be up.
Amen to that.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean, we need him around. He can't even get a game for the terrible Eagles.
Fumbled the punt return.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
no. He called for the fair catch and then fumbled it, but it was a flag for roughing.
So he didn't lose it?
No, he didn't.
Nah. Well, I think Colts was a good win. Steelers 3-1. The good thing is the Steelers they get the Cowboys next week on Sunday Night Football. They get the Cowboys, and the note I put in was Cowboys beat the Giants, but at what cost? They've now lost Lawrence for at least a month, probably 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Who's, again, if you haven't watched the Cowboys game for a while, what Lawrence does for that team is almost immeasurable.
No,
and Parsons now has a high ankle sprain. He's trying to play this week. I don't think he will. But and then high ankle sprains, they linger. They stay around for a while. He's going to lose some explosiveness. Parsons isn't a big enough. He's not like he's a 6'6", dominant, strong inside guy. He can't lose a step. That's his strength is how fast he is.
All he's really got is his speed to get past.
Pure athleticism, and then his handwork off it. That's what his key is.
That's pretty
if you lose that athleticism, your handwork is useless.
Yep,
because you're not getting linemen out of position to then use your hands to beat them.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So that's a worry. And they they get the Steelers now, who you reckon they're going to want to run the ball on one of the worst run defenses in football without Parsons and
just been
DeMarcus
smacked
Lawrence?
in the mouth, so they're going to be looking to smack someone else in the mouth now as a result.
My issue with the Cowboys, their run over the next kind of 6 weeks is brutal. They're going to be missing their second best or best defensive player, depending on who you ask, in Lawrence. And then Parsons, their other one, who's going to be slower or not play.
Surely they don't risk him. Surely they don't play him.
It's going to be, this game's going to be completely reliant on the offense anyway. Like, it's now, if the Cowboys want, I said, great road win on the Giants. I think anytime you beat a division rival on the road, Danny Dimes was dreadful. Yeah, he can't throw deep at all. I don't care. Any quarterback in the league could have done what he did on the weekend.
He drops a 10 yards short every time.
He cannot throw deep, so he couldn't punish the Cowboys secondary. Because every time he threw deep, he underthrew it.
On the Diggs' pick that wasn't called because it was an offside.
Yeah,
that should have been a touchdown.
100% on the offside call because it was a cover 2 and the safety blew it, and Diggs actually blew his coverage to go with the guy because he saw him blow it.
Yep.
And everyone was blaming Diggs, saying if it was thrown properly, you would have got burned again. I was like, Diggs was the flat defender and was like, shit. Safety's just blown it. It's an offside. He's going to throw deep. I'm bailing.
Yeah.
And Danny Dimes underthrew it. So there are big concerns. I'm genuinely concerned with the Cowboys, it's all going to have to be on Prescott and CD Lamb. And I don't think they're a top 10 offense because you've only got 2 guys. Their running game's dreadful. Their O-line's young. It's inexperienced. They're learning. It will be better. Guyton's looked good as a rookie. He will get better.
He'll get better.
But as of now, the gauntlet they're going to go over the next 6-7 weeks, there's a real chance they only win 2 or 3 of those games. And then you're not winning the division. Like, you're not making the playoffs.
Bro, Washington's going to win that division. I'm telling you now.
The NFC is also very competitive now. You've got Lions, Vikings, and Packers who are all very good.
Yep.
The Bears aren't bad. So there's 4 teams in the North that are basically going to have to beat each other to see who wins that division because they're all within a game of each other. The South looks good with Atlanta.
Yeah.
New Orleans have faltered a little bit. We'll talk about them.
Tampa's looking good.
Tampa looks good.
Fucking steamroll the Eagles, man.
Well, it's great segue into them because...
Mate, I've got some notes here I want to talk about.
Well, my question was, you asked me last week, what's going on? What's going on in Philly, George?
I'm telling you what's going on.
I know, so I knew you would. I
Our
appreciate
secondary absolutely fucking sucks.
Yes.
Maddox, Slay, and CJ Gardner-Johnson, they all suck. All of them. Nobody can cover anyone.
Slay's lost that step now. He's lost that other step that he couldn't afford to lose.
Slay and CJ, they need to be like healthy scratchings. They've got to go.
You reckon Slay's that bad?
Oh, Slay's okay. CJ's he's a healthy scratching. He cannot cover. He's a liability. Mike Evans, like we're going to talk about Mike Evans in a minute too.
We will,
right? But Mike Evans gave him an absolute bath in this game.
And not the first guy Mike Evans given a bath to.
True.
But
But
Mike Evans
very
isn't.
good.
He's not an elite athlete though, Mike. Mike
Bullshit,
Evans
he's not.
beats guys by overpowering them.
Yeah,
He doesn't outrun dudes.
He's a big man and he runs a crisp route.
But that's what I'm saying. He was outrunning it. He was that open on Eagles guys. They couldn't stick with him, which is rare. He doesn't get open like that much.
It's like, where's our secondary? Who are we covering? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, and
No pressure.
guys are so open. It's like Baker looks like he's prime fucking Drew Brees out there, just like picking defenses, picking our defense apart.
prime Bryce Young.
Prime
as
Bryce
Brock
Young.
would call
Get
it.
out of here, man.
They're basically the same guy.
Same guy.
Our D line,
5'10".
zero pressure in the passing game,
Yep.
and zero penetration in the run game.
See, I think that's your issue. It's not just your coverage. For years, for the past 2-3 years, you've had defensive lines getting through.
Yeah, we have.
And the quarterback's throwing the ball within 1 second.
With pressure or getting sacked. Yeah, like 2 years ago when we made that Super Bowl run, I think we recorded like 90 sacks or something for the year. It was something ridiculous.
It wouldn't have been 90 because 75 is the record.
Well,
But it was
something crazy.
very
It was
good.
a lot. It was a lot of sacks.
90 would be unbelievable.
But that's
like
what
Madden stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you're getting
Yeah,
sacks.
correct.
You're getting to
Now,
the
we've got
quarterback.
nothing. We've got no penetration.
So
We've got nothing.
your DBs could actually cover
Baker had
for
all
longer than
day.
2 seconds.
Like Baker had all day. He didn't even need to scramble, which he's good at doing. Like he just literally just stood there and picked our fucking secondary apart.
He was very good.
Like where's our linebackers covering? And not only that, the amount of yards after the catch that these guys got on us, it's like where's the fucking defense swarming to the ball?
I've got an opinion on Yak, right? Yak to me is like tackling and effort to the ball and everything. That's not a skill issue. Tackling is a skill, but the effort to want to tackle and gang tackle and swarm,
Right.
That's a culture thing.
Where is it?
It's
if you
gone.
watched that game, which I did,
Yeah,
there was none
I
of it.
watched it too. It's gone. It's
There
gone.
was none of it.
Baker
Dude.
sucked the life out of him.
Dude, it was 24-0 at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. The fucking game's over.
They had 0 yards at halftime. The Eagles
Crazy.
zero offensive yards at halftime.
And not only that, put that to side. That's the defense. We'll talk about the offense now.
Yeah.
Where was the fucking running game?
Wow.
Well, it's like, now it's like we're down by 3 scores halfway through the third quarter. Okay, now we'll start giving Saquon the ball.
No, in your first 3 drives, you had 9 plays, and Saquon Barkley had 2 carries.
Yeah. And this is a problem. And I actually agreed with Sirianni. He copped a bit of flack, Sirianni, for saying that's what he said.
Yes.
And they were like, oh, well, you got to find a way. And he's like, we were down 24-0 after 3 possessions. We had 3 possessions. We went 3 and out every time, and we were down.
Yeah, they're going 3 and out because they're trying to pass the ball with no receivers, bro.
Yeah.
At least run the ball. Try and control the game. Try and control the clock. Our top 2 receivers are out. Why are you leaning on the passing game?
Yeah,
You've
I
been
just
leaning on the
would-
run game.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's.
Lean on the run game and then play action off it.
Can I answer your question with a name? Kellen Moore, man. I like Kellen Moore. Don't get me wrong. Kellen Moore had some great seasons at the Cowboys.
Do you have a dartboard like hidden somewhere with Callum Moore's face on it?
I'm telling you.
And the other thing,
When push comes to shove with Kellen Moore, he is this is my system. The system works. I will run it no matter what anyone does. And when he gets punched in the mouth and stopped, he goes, I don't know what to do.
So you're the Blue Mountain State quarterback, OC from the third season, where he's like, my system's still solid. Anyone can run this system.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the last 2 weeks when we've lent on the running game, Saquon's gone off.
Yeah.
He's had 2 great weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I agree with you.
Your 2 top receivers are out. Run the fucking ball.
Who do you guys play this week?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked the schedule.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
And Hurts, the other thing I want to talk about is Hurts. Way too many fucking turnovers. He's trying to do way too much.
He's the Black Will Levis.
Like, Baker was like throwing these nice little underneath routes, take the 6 yards, take the 5 yards, a little bit of yak, you make a guy miss, whatever, you go for a nice little chunk play. Where's that? It's like every play does not need to be a home fucking run.
And it was like when they played the Falcons, his 2 most successful plays were the pass to Goddard, which won them the game.
Yeah.
And they lost that game, sorry, didn't they? Last week they lost to the Falcons? No, they beat the Saints. They beat the Saints when Goddard had that insane 60-yard catch.
Yeah.
He's like 40 or more, like 70% of his yards came on 2 plays, one to Saquon, one to Goddard.
Right.
Like on dump offs that the guys that they made a play and actually they got all the yards.
Where's more of that?
It's that stuff isn't. It doesn't always come like that. That's
You play the Browns.
it comes with consistency.
Yeah, we've got the bye and then we play the Browns. That's right.
So the Browns, you guys should win that. Like they're falling apart. But again, I wouldn't be confident.
I'm not confident.
I don't know. I think
Too many. He's behind Will Levis, who's basically a rookie.
Yep.
Right. He leads the league in turnovers. He's already got 7 this year.
Yeah.
It's fucking week 4.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
got 7 turnovers, bro. Well, it's not good enough.
This is the most upset I've seen you about the Eagles for a while.
Is it time to get rid of Sirianni?
We look pathetic.
Is Sirianni? Do you think Sirianni lasts the season?
No, I actually said he'd be gone by the bye. I fucking hope they fire him this week.
They won't fire him this week,
I want to finish on a positive note. I want to talk about Mike Evans.
mate. The GOAT.
Mike Evans does not get his flowers. He does not get the respect that he deserves.
Is he the
in my
most
opinion.
underrated wide
Extremely
receiver of all time?
Extreme. He needs to be spoken about
Beasley.
as an elite.
He said Cole Beasley.
Beasley.
That's so good. That is. I didn't know what
Am
name
I
you.
wrong?
I knew your name was going to be stupid, but I didn't know what. Cole Beasley is
Wes Welker.
outstanding. Wes Welker's very heavily rated, I would say.
Mike Evans needs to be spoken about as an elite wide receiver of his generation.
I think Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, I don't know about first ballot, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Do you know no other player has had as many 1,000-yard seasons in a row? He's had
That's right, he has,
13
yeah.
1,000-yard seasons in a row, and he's going for his 14th, and he's going to get it
He'll
this
get
year.
it. He'll get it for sure.
Unless he gets injured.
Touch wood. Injuries off.
Injuries off. He'll get it, 100%. The other thing I want to touch base on, I think we've actually hit. I've never been more impressed with Baker Mayfield over the past 2 weeks. He was awful last week. They lost the game. He played terribly.
Yep.
To come out and play the way he did, that's maturity.
Dude,
that's a quarterback that goes, I wasn't good enough last week. It's on me. Apparently, he said that to his teammates. It's on me. I'm the quarterback.
Yep.
I'm your leader.
I love it.
I need to be better. Comes out, kicks the doors off in the first
Dude,
half.
he torched us.
Who wouldn't want to play with this version of Baker?
In that first half, he smoked us.
Yeah.
Like I said, he looked like prime Drew Brees in that first half.
He played very well. Did you see his beef with Brady?
Yeah,
as
that
well?
was weird. What was that about?
No, I thought it was good. So, but if people don't know, basically Baker had an interview before the Monday night game, the game where they talked to the players, whatever, saying that someone asked him what's the difference with you now over when you think Brady was there. And Baker wasn't saying this disrespectfully. He wasn't saying like I'm better than Brady, I'm the best.
I don't think
He said
anything like that.
it's more relaxed now. I'm not as big a pressure guy. We want to have fun and play football, and there's just not as much pressure anymore. And Brady's response was, I would have thought like fun was winning Super Bowls. That was my opinion.
Such a Brady call.
And he was like, and you know what? He's like, I know I demanded a lot out of my players. I demanded a lot out of myself, and I expected them to do the same thing. I liked winning over anything else.
Yeah.
If I wanted fun, I would have gone with my kids to Disneyland, not won football games. Now, my response would be, Brady, maybe you should have gone with your kids to Disneyland a few times and your wife, ex-wife.
Yeah, but he's got 7 rings though.
No.
You can't have both.
Hang on.
True.
No,
That's true.
To save
Can't
that
have both.
marriage, you just can't have her doing judo 7 times a week and still be a white belt. Like, what are you paying him
Switch
for?
on. Who is it? Dwight Schrute?
Jesus, switch it on.
Fucking bright.
Nah, like, I get what Brady's saying, and I get what Baker's saying.
They're both fair points.
But-
and they weren't like, it's not like they were having an argument. Like, Brady was just like, this was my opinion on it.
Brady's very much the Patriot way, and you see everyone that comes out of the Patriots is all the same standards. It's so high. As soon as they get out of it, it's a weight lifted off the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be the same.
A lot
with
of expat players have spoken about
That's
that.
what I mean.
Right,
So it'll be the same with Tampa at the moment. Where, like, as soon as like Brady's gone, a lot of those Super Bowl champions would have just felt the difference between Brady and Baker, and it would be more free and open.
Oh, no, I've got a T-shirt of Brady having a bit of fun after winning the Super Bowl just quietly when he's coming off that boat.
Yeah.
So and then Pat McAfee asked Bill Belichick about it, and Belichick, awesome response from him.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, don't get me wrong, he's like, I think Baker's a great player, he's doing a great job. He's like, Brady is the best player of all time. He is the best football player of all time. Me and him worked so well together because we were the same person.
Yes.
We could have our fun. Fun time is fun time. When it was business time, when it was a walkthrough, a team meeting, a training session, a game, anything football related, it was switch on. This is the only thing you're concentrating on.
Yeah.
It's like players loved Brady off the field. On the field, it was business. You weren't friends when you're on the field. You were teammates that were trying to win. And when you won, you had a lot of fun.
Sure.
Football is a business.
Yeah,
it is
100%.
a business.
And that's what Belichick explained it. That was paraphrasing on it, but that basically Belichick was saying that I'm the same as him. I think both. He's like, I don't mind. He's like, I don't mind Baker's response. Baker probably had a lot of pressure on himself when he was in Cleveland. He's found a way to take that pressure off himself and enjoy. He's openly said, I hated football. Like I was done with football. I was playing D-end in the practice squad for the Carolina Panthers.
Baker's the same as Sam Darnold. 1 foot out of the league.
Yep.
In a shit situation to come to a team who has had success recently.
Yep.
As a stable franchise. They don't really do much like big lifting in Tampa.
Good offensive players.
They stick to what they know and they play football.
Yep.
That's what Tampa is.
And it seems to me like it's at the end of the day, no two people are the same, and people thrive under different conditions. Clearly, Tom Brady needed that highly strung, like work, go environment to succeed, and that's okay. It's clear that when all the pressure's on Baker, he can't perform. He needs that freedom. He needs that release. And have a look at how well he's playing.
Yep, and it's working for him.
Last year they won a playoff game, man. Like,
and
this year they're probably going to win the division.
They're going to make the playoffs. They're very good.
So clearly, it's working for him.
It's
so
Baker in
it's a good thing.
Baker in Cleveland. In Cleveland, everyone eyes on him. He did anything wrong. He did a commercial. Everyone hated him for doing commercials.
I was one of them.
Winning games. But in college, he's grabbing his nuts. He's fucking having a fun time.
Yeah, and he was killing it. You're right, Brock.
He
I
had
agree.
fun and played football.
Yeah.
He's a fun player. Like, winning's fun.
Yeah.
Having fun and winning, the best thing in the world.
Yeah, but you got to do the winning first. That's the key.
Yeah, but you win and have fun, or you fun and you win. You can win by having fun.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think if you're just having fun, you might not win much.
You might not win. You might not win much.
Your first goal needs to be like, what do we got to do to compete and win? And then once you've found that and you know what you're doing and you have your routine, then enjoy it. You got to find it first. I think, and Baker's learned that.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Baker's in a good situation for him. 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Can we talk Saints? So after blowing the doors off the Panthers and the Cowboys the first 2 weeks, they've really come back down to earth. They lose to the Falcons.
It was such a good time those 2 weeks.
I know.
I'm going to describe these kids, like for my kids. Those 2 weeks Saints.
Week 1 and 2.
I feel so bad for Trishan. Like, he must be like going through it right now. He was so happy.
He
was wearing his Saints merch to
Did they just play the 2 worst defenses in football this first 2 weeks?
Possible, yeah.
Because I remember when they did to the Cowboys, I was like, well, they must be good because the Cowboys defense is going to be okay at least. Bap, cap. Wrong. They are not good.
They're not good, yeah.
So I think there's going to be...
Because even the Giants look decent. The other night, like, they look decent.
Oh, if Danny Jones can throw it more than 20 yards, they're
probably
winning.
Yeah.
Well, they're certainly putting a lot of pressure back on the Cowboys offense to actually have to score, not just take the piss out of it. So I think they're pretenders. Falcons, another win. Didn't score a touchdown in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Falcons are... What I like about the Falcons they're treading water. They're winning. They're not. It's not like they're losing. Not they're 0-4 or anything like that. They're keeping their season alive, and I think there's something there to find a rhythm. So
that'll sort of come.
It'll develop. It'll like one or the other. It'll either develop or it'll stay like this, and they'll probably win 7 or 8 games. But if they just keep, you've got to have wins. You've got to bank some wins early.
Yep.
Because you've got you. It will take you half a season to find that rhythm. Texans last year, they banked a couple of wins early when no one thought they could, and then halfway through the season, all of a sudden Stroud found his straps, right?
Yep.
And he's like, oh my God, Stroud knows what's going on now. They now have a legitimate player, and then bang, they flew. So it will happen like that. I just think what the Falcons are doing is good enough at the moment, but we just need to see the next
But
bit
that's
of it.
okay because you don't win championships, you don't win divisions in September and October.
You can lose them, but you don't win
can.
them.
That's exactly because you can go 0-4 like the Bengals, and then your season's done.
Well, Bengals are
Oh no, sorry. Bengals could have gone 1-4.
The Jaguars went 1.
Jags are 0-4. Their season's
So the
over.
Jags, just so you know, there is one team that's ever made it to the playoffs from 0-4. It was a Chargers team in like the 60s.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
They played 15 games, probably 12
That's
games.
Oh, who knows? Yeah, I'm assuming they won a
Probably
division
not
with a losing record.
It's
or
not
something
applicable
like
to
that.
Was it still-
2024.
Was it
NFL,
still the
is it?
company team back then?
I don't know. But the Jags, we were talking before when you were out of the room, Georgie, about who's going to be a first coach fired. Poor Doug Peterson
It's
is.
going to have to be. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the Jags, right? I don't know where it's all gone wrong, right? I don't think they're that untalented a team. They haven't lost games that badly. Like they're not like they're getting pumped every week. They just seem to find a way. They're one of those teams that's finding a way to lose.
Ways to lose, yeah.
Like this is a team that if they get a fresh coach, like like a Dan Quinn, the fresh coach boost next year, I think maybe they could be something.
Someone's going to have to fall on their sword for this. Like you can't
It's
pay
gonna
in the
be
off season.
Peterson.
You can't pay your quarterback top money and then start 0-4. You just can't.
And he hasn't played well either.
Yeah, he looked okay today.
He's played
The other day, he
patches.
looked okay in patches.
I just want to. I'm trying to think
He's
about
been
it.
Patches O'Houlihan for years
Patches
now.
like all
Yeah,
that.
drinking his own piss. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Like patches, like old patches.
Hey,
Wearing a
shout out to Dodgeball.
bandana.
That's got to be a top 10 movie. Doesn't it? I fucking
100%.
love
Great
Dodgeball.
movie. But yeah, like I just think there was a play that made, and a Big Cat highlighted this to me as well. I was watching pardon my take the other day.
Yep.
Big Cat.
Was that your sketch?
I've been watching a sketch as
Oh,
well.
big cat.
Big Cat did it for me. He's like, there was a turn he did the other night. It wasn't this week's game, it was the week before. He did a turn with no pressure on him, like a blind turn, and then there was no one pressuring him. Like he was trying to scramble, and then was like, oh, there's no one here. Okay, I can reset my feet. That's a real quarterback that's lost his confidence.
Yeah,
thing.
definitely. Like
That's like I have
skittish,
no
yeah.
faith. He's missing receivers. He's not getting the ball to receivers quick enough because he's almost second get. Like the best quarterbacks, they throw with anticipation.
Yeah.
That's no secret. If you've
Absolutely.
ever watched a football game, it's not hard to understand that.
Yep.
So he doesn't have that anticipation. He has good receivers. He has good plays. He's got Evan Ingram's a good tight end. Christian Kirk's a good wide receiver. Who's the other? Brian, the rookie, Brian Thomas. He's
Yeah,
a
Brian Thomas
great
is good,
rookie this year. Like he's looked terrific, but he's just got no trust, no faith in his line to protect him, and he's rattled out there.
He's definitely got
rattled.
happy feet for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's a little bit scared. And for all intent and purposes, unless something miraculous happens, the Jaguars season is over. So they need to do some soul
At
searching,
0-4, it is over.
and they need to find some guys that they need to find something that they can start building.
When's their bye? Surely
I have
Peterson
no
goes. Peterson goes.
I thought tonight we'd be talking about Peterson already being fired
We'll probably wake up tomorrow morning.
because he had a press conference and he didn't look happy either. Because he might even go into the owners and be like, I fucking hate it here. I'm done. Like, fire me. Like, because you never know. Like, they might pull. Coaches don't get fired. The owners don't just go to them and go, "Hey, you're fired now." Very often, they'll have conversations in the weeks leading up to it.
Sure.
And if the coach is not responding in like a positive, like I want to fix this, I'm trying to
Yep.
fix this, there are guys that just put the cue in the rack. And
Yep.
maybe Peterson goes into his next meeting with the GM and he goes, you know what, this team's crap. Lawrence is crap. You're now married to him for the next 6 years on a
Yeah.
$55 million a year. So your team salary cap stuff, you can't even get good players in because you haven't got enough money now.
Yep.
So like
He's got no confidence.
he's like, I don't have any confidence in him. He's got no confidence in me. The offense is shot. Like, I don't know how to fix this. And that can honestly be the end. Sometimes they're like, well, if you don't know how to fix it, what's the point of you being here? I'll
What's
be
the
like, yeah,
point?
well, what is the point of me being here?
They can like
The
mutually
locker room don't like me.
Yeah.
Like,
Mutually part ways.
you know what I mean? Like, sometimes those meetings just become like that. And the owner's like, well, we're just going to fire you then.
Week
I'd be
12
like,
is
cool.
their bye week.
Week 12. So they're a long way. Like, actually, that's a good time to fire.
Yeah.
Because if you won 2 games by there, you're like, cool, we're going to get rid of you. The next 5 games, we'll get an interim coach in, see what happens for next year.
They've got 2 London games coming up in the next 3 weeks.
Very good in London, the old Jags.
Very good in London. They'll beat the Patriots in London.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Book it.
I-
Second week of their London trip, they go over.
Who do they play this week in London?
No, so
Are they not the London game
they're
this
not
week?
the London this week.
No, okay. Who do they play this week? Because they, like,
They're,
I know this
they're
sounds
Co- they're
ridiculous.
Colts.
They need a win. Like, they're not going
Well,
to
they're home against Colts. Then they play
At home.
Bears in London, and then they play the Pats in London.
I don't think they're beating I don't think they're beating the Colts or the Bears.
They won't beat the Colts.
The Colts are so tough, which
Yeah.
is the
opposite
of what the
Yeah,
Jags are.
Jags are soft as butter. Yeah.
Like, I think the Colts' first 2 weeks was unlike. Like, say what about the Colts' last couple of years since Steichen's become their coach. They've been not that talented or not that good, but
They're gritty.
They're tough. They're gritty. Perfect word.
They're gritty.
And the first 2 games, I was like, "What are these Colts? This is not what I'm used to seeing." They're losing and they're like not even trying hard. And the last 2 weeks, I'm like, these are the Colts. If you're going to beat them, you have to earn every single step of it. They're not going to quit on you at any point. So I think the Jags are in real trouble. They could be 0-6.
This
Is our Colts. This is our team. Have you not seen that? George wouldn't have seen him. I'm going to send it to you.
It's the best thing in the
I
world.
feel like me and you are the only people that's seen this dude.
The shoes.
Guy's dripping with tism.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
mate.
pussy.
Yeah, he'd be slaying the Colt hose now.
Colts cheerleaders.
Whoa.
I'll send you a video.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the Bengals, who survived the fatal 0-4 by beating somebody that I can't remember now and wish I'd put it in the run sheet. Who did they beat?
Broxton, who did they beat?
Joe Burrow was very good through his first interception of the season.
They didn't beat anyone.
Oh, the Panthers.
Panthers.
Oh, it was Andy Dalton revenge game. Sorry, how have I forgotten this? They survived an Andy Dalton revenge game for the 4th time. I don't know. Jamar Chase looked really good. That touchdown he had where he just broke 70 tackles.
Did you see the interview?
When they asked me if he had baby oil all over him.
Did you leave yourself on baby?
Oh, my God.
What?
So, George, they interviewed Jamar Chase in the locker room after, and the first guy says, "Man, you must have had baby oil all over you. You just couldn't be tackled." And he was like, "What?" He's like, "Man, we can't be like
We can't be talking
we
about
can't be talking
like
about that
at
sort
the
of stuff
moment.
at this." And the interviewer was like, "Oh yeah, yeah. I realized."
Shout out to the diddler.
He's like, "I realize what I've done." He instantly realized, "Crap, I've just put my foot in it." Jamar Chase was like, "Do I laugh at this or do I get
Are we
awkward?"
pro diddler or anti diddler on this podcast?
Jamar Chase would have been at the freak offs.
I don't know. Surely you can't be pro diddler. He's in a bit of strife.
He made some good music.
I think just let the man live, man.
Bad boys.
What can I say? Let the man
We
live.
the man
ain't
live.
going.
I
We
don't
can't
know.
be stopped.
I don't know about it.
Bad boy
Does this
for
win
life.
mean anything? It's the Panthers. Like, who cares?
It means something because you're not 0-4.
Okay, it means that, but I mean like going forward for the Bengals.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little bit healthier. If any team can if you take all the 1 and 3 teams, if any of them can make the playoffs, it's the Bengals.
Yeah, because they got Joe Burrow.
And they're
They got
very
Jamar Chase.
talented.
they
And
got
everyone's
T.
like, Joe
Higgins.
Burrow's played terrible this year. He threw his first interception of the season on the weekend in week 4. I think he's second in the league in passing touchdowns.
They have a tough game against the Ravens this week.
in
mean-
Cincy.
In
isn't it?
Cincy, yeah.
Cincy,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
a
know you're
winnable
going to
game.
hate this.
That's a winnable
but
game.
is
I
that
know-
a game they steal? Like, it's
No.
such a Cincy thing to do.
That's a winnable game.
They still are back at the end of the year in Baltimore.
Yeah, potentially.
Because
That's-
normally
yeah.
normally they
All
split
right,
those games.
if let's just say they lose to the Ravens this week. Let's just say.
Okay.
Yep.
Are they done
Probably.
at 1-4? Do you think that's it?
Probably.
In the division, you got to understand like the division's pretty good. The,
The
AFC
division's
is-
pretty tough at the moment.
AFC's
I'm trying to
pretty
think the AFC. There's some good teams. There's some good teams that are going to be 3-1, 3-2 at worst, sort of thing.
Well, like Houston already 3-1, Pittsburgh are 3-1, Buffalo are 3-1, Jets are 2-2, India 2-2, Ravens would be 2-2, Chargers 2-2, Vegas 2-2, and the Denver Broncos are 2-2.
Can we talk Jets? I want to talk Jets Broncos now.
Jets.
That
Jets.
did you guys see the weather at that game?
It was terrible.
At halftime, Bo Nix had negative passing yards.
Yeah.
Negative
Yeah.
passing yards. Do you know how hard that? And people will be like, "Oh, sacks give you negative passing yards." No, they don't. He was having to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage so often because the weather was so bad.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, everyone's saying, "Oh, Rodgers needs his receivers to get on his level real
He
quick."
didn't even get sacked.
Yeah, like Bo Nix was awful in that first half.
Yeah.
The difference in that game was Bo Nix threw 1 touchdown. He produced 1 drive where he was able to make some things happen and get his receivers to catch.
When was the last
football.
time Rodgers didn't throw a touchdown in a game? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while.
Maybe never.
I would have said the first game of the season last year.
When
Obviously, you fucking jerk.
when does Salah go? Because
Well,
I don't care if they're winning.
I don't think Rodgers likes that.
Rodgers will fucking have
Pretty
his
clear
way.
their relationship is soft, is frosty at best.
Because I think I don't think anyone in that building, and call me a Rodgers lover, whatever you want to call me.
I'm a
I
Rodgers
don't
lover.
think anyone is on Rodgers' level. Again, it's like the Brady
In
conversation.
terms of like professionalism, is that what you mean? Okay.
In terms of like, Yeah, he lost a lot of NFC Championship games. I know he's lost. He's won a Super Bowl.
He's got to make them to lose.
His
them, though.
teams in Green Bay were competitive every single year up until his last year. They were either in the NFC Championship games or very close to it.
Sure. Yeah.
Playoff team every year. He doesn't celebrate week 3, week 4 wins and losses. Like he's relax everyone at 0-2. He's like, everyone relax. It's going to be fine. That's someone who knows his organization's got his back. I think he's realizing now with the Jets that he's playing that he's like, these guys, it's that old saying, they don't know how to win. These guys don't know how to win. Garrett Wilson stuffed up. There was 4 times on the weekend, which could have been big plays. One of them definitely a touchdown, where he just needed to sit at the right time, change his route because of what the coverage was, and Rodgers threw it to what he should be doing, and then he's literally like, what are you doing? When they're too high, you've got a post, you go to the left post because then the too highs can't get you. He throws it there and he's like, what are you doing? Because you know why? And everyone go, that's a terrible throw. No, that's what a quarterback who throws with anticipation looks like when the receivers don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
You know who's changing his route? Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that Green Bay will be, the Jets will be looking for some sort of move in the next couple of weeks, and it will be, why do you think Alan Lazard's been so good this year for the Jets?
Yeah.
Because he's played with Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's not the most talented player on that team. Rodgers trusts him. When he throws the ball to him, he knows what he's going to do.
Yep. Yeah.
So he trusts him. It's as simple as that. Garrett Wilson might be so much talented, blah, blah, blah. Yep, he's got everything ahead of him.
He's still young, though.
I agree, but he needs to... If the Jets want to do something this year, Garrett Wilson needs to switch on real quick.
If the Jets want to do something this year, they need to get a proper number 1 receiver in.
I would love... I called it in the preseason. I would love a Devontae Adams trade to... The problem is now that
Is it that unlikely?
The Raiders pulled off these 2 stupid wins, and now, like, the Raiders are like, oh, maybe we're okay.
Yeah, they won't.
Like, if they were 0-4, I reckon the Devontae Adams sweepstakes would have just been heating up. But because they won a couple of games, they're now going to be like, well, why would we dump him? We're second in the West. We're a chance here.
It's also going to be Devontae Adams would want to leave as well.
Yeah, and like it's hard to leave a team over had a couple of wins. It's hard. Like if you're 0-4 and you're like, hey, I just want to win Super Bowls. I'm going somewhere I can win a Super Bowl, like the Chiefs or the Jets or whatever I think I can win.
I don't know. The Raiders aren't going to do much this year, though.
No, I think they need to lose a couple of games. They need to lose the next 2 games, so then they're good.
As much as the Raiders, like, their locker room is a dumpster fire waiting to be lit, I think it's okay. I think he's okay in that.
It's covered in petrol.
It's covered in
everyone's slipping over in the oil. They're covered, but no one's lit a match yet. They haven't even let matches in the room yet.
Yes.
But it's happening. It's coming. We all know it's coming.
Toxic,
but it hasn't happened
yet.
But
it hasn't been let out yet. It hasn't been like the Eagles where things are slipping and stuff like that. Sorry to take a shot at you there.
No, sorry or quiet.
No, because they're all still, whether they're pretending or not, they're all still united.
Yeah,
they're united. They're all covered in petrol together. Like, it's when the fires start and Deuce like, I'm not grabbing that guy anymore. He's fucking on fire.
Yeah.
I don't want to get caught on fire. I'm covered in petrol.
As soon as one burns, they all burn.
100%. It's going to be bad when it does blow up. But, they're doing enough. I'm just going to say, I don't want to talk about the Browns-Raiders game too much, but that holding call to take away Amari Cooper's touchdown pass, and then the fact that it was Christian Wilkins, and then seeing him celebrate and, like, point them back. And
I can't stand it.
I don't know how you're not as a Cleveland player. Like, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'm getting ejected there.
Yeah.
If anything, just to show my team that I'm supporting him. Because Amari Cooper had a dirty day. He had a couple of drops. Didn't look like nothing was... when those days nothing's going their way. Couldn't get open. And then to hit that pass, which would have won the game, to get that touchdown, just removed. It was like, for the softest holding call... Wilkins wasn't even pass rushing, and he got called. It was like... It would have been like calling on us. When the end of the half where they're all the D line don't rush because there's like 3 people blocking. It looked like that. He was just standing there, and at the last second, Watson stepped up through his best throw of the season, best throw in the last 3 years, and hits a wide open Cooper for a touchdown. And it's just like, nah, we're going to call a real soft holding call to ruin it. It pissed me off. I'm sick of refs doing it.
I'm sick of the refs ruining games.
It ruined the game. That was 100%. Yeah. It was not enough of a hold to call it on him.
Something's got to be done about that. I don't know what it is, but something's got to be done about these refs.
And I just think when the refs see a hold, they call. I'm not saying the refs cheating. It wasn't a Chiefs thing. He obviously thought it was holding.
It's not cheating. It's like I just think that the refs have got this mentality at the moment where they want to be the stars of the show.
Yeah, they want to.
They don't want the players to be the stars.
Yeah.
They want to be the stars. It's like they're drinking their own bathwater
it
too
was
much.
so, and like there was one in the Cowboys Giants game where they called it on Tyler Beard. It was a touchdown to Dowdle, and they picked it up.
That's right, yeah.
Because the other three refs
Yeah,
came in
they
and were
picked it
like,
up.
"What did you
Yeah,
call?"
yeah.
And they're like holding that. The other was like, they showed it. The guys were like, "Nah, man, like he barely grabbed him." That was good. I know the Giants hate it, but if they'd showed me the other way around for that, like the Giants got a terrible one where Overshawn face masked the tight end, and they called a face mask on Overshawn. And I'm like, how have they done that? Like that's ridiculous. They've called that. If that had got overturned, I would have been like, yeah, well, fair enough. Did they get the wrong number? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Like when that got overturned with the Cowboys, I was like, 100% they need to be overturned. You can't ruin a play like that because of a ghost holding call.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I think it was the same with Cooper. I think the Browns should be pissed off, and they weren't pissed off enough. Like Stefanski should have lost it.
Yeah.
I would have been. I would have got ejected if I was
What
a head
happens if
coach.
you're ejected? Can you coach the next week?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
You just step over the fence and keep talking shit, don't you, James?
just like you do.
I did it one time.
Yeah, it's my favourite memory of you.
I told the ref if he ejects him, I'm just going to go over the fence and start yelling at him. And he was like, "No, you won't."
Bet.
Spoiler alert.
Bet.
Then they asked me very politely to stop, and I did because I felt sorry for the poor kid. Anyway, we shouldn't promote that sort of behaviour. That's terrible behaviour. And I've grown up since 6 months ago.
So, hey,
Wrong.
talk to me about Caleb Williams.
I just think he's, for a dude that's getting hit, the man is getting hit.
He's getting hit a lot, bro.
I just
In
think he's.
the bedroom or with Diddy or?
Yeah, wow.
Did he? Wow.
He'd be a prime candidate for the old diddler. He was that zesty quarterback for the Bears. Invite him to our next party.
Diddle have him from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bro.
Get the freak off.
No, I just think he's played really well. He threw 2 touchdowns and ran for 1.
Yeah, he ran for that nice touchdown too. Yeah.
I'm watching him. I'm just seeing, and we talk about it all the time. I'm just seeing the traits. He's got the right traits.
Yep.
He's not a bad teammate. It looks like, he's a zesty bastard, but it looks like his teammates love him because he takes hits, gets up, never yells at him, never turns on him. Just get back to the huddle. It's all good.
What game was that where he just got absolutely poleaxed?
I don't. It was
Two weeks ago.
It was Ravens, wasn't it?
No.
No, he hasn't played the Ravens yet.
Oh, he just got annihilated.
And he just kept getting up.
It was the Texans
Well, okay.
when they almost
that's right,
won.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
kept
don't,
getting up
don't
and
take
just-
those big hits, bro.
Yeah, it was Stroud baby broing him
And then he got baby breath the week after.
by Darnold. It's great.
How cool.
But I just think
I gained a lot of respect for him.
just
that
watching him. I don't think like the Bears could be they could sneak into the 7th seed of the playoffs. I believe that.
Sure.
I think it's going to be tough in that division. They're going to play Vikings, Packers, and Lions twice. It's going to be tough. But they're good enough, and I think Caleb Williams next year. He finally got DJ Moore going on the weekend.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, who's just been brutalized in the media for his poor start. Like running backs don't need blocking to get yards. All of a sudden, they had a couple of nice lanes for him, and look at him go. He's scoring touchdowns.
Yep.
Like, I can, again, talking about the Falcons, the Bears are the same. They're 2-2. They haven't lost their season early. Are they really good yet, or will they be really good? I'm not sure, but they've done enough now to be in the race. So if they can build on this, and Caleb Williams, we don't know Caleb Williams is going to do the CJ Stroud in 2 weeks' time and just be like, it's clicked. I've worked it out.
John.
I've worked out. I've got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen's back. I've got some dudes now. I've got a Dunze's now looking better. Swift, all of a sudden the O-line,
running the ball,
they're starting to learn how to play together.
You know what the Bears need to start doing? Realizing what DJ Moore is, and he's a deep shot receiver.
Yeah.
And not having to throw in 6 yards route. Have him going 20 yards downfield like he succeeded last year with Justin Fields that everyone hated.
Yeah.
Let's actually throw it to this guy that has speed to burn that we just paid in the offseason.
He's only been doing it because Keenan Allen's been injured. So when Keenan Allen's back, he'll play that short route guy.
Yeah.
And then what they've actually done is they've rolled DJ Moore into the Keenan Allen role,
He
and
doesn't
Dunze's playing
He does
the
not look
DJ
happy.
Moore role. But that's not how it works. But they didn't
He
do it on
did-
the weekend. They got it downfield.
He does not look happy.
No, and it'll open up. He had a touchdown on the weekend. He'll be fine. I think DJ Moore's.
I think as each week goes by, Caleb Williams gets more and more confident, and he's just going to improve even more.
I'm enjoying the Caleb Williams ride. I really am.
I just want to ask you one question, George. What was your thoughts on Caleb Williams' celebration as you walked off the field?
I didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't say it either.
I'll post it on the socials. It was very zesty.
Well,
And I'm no surprises to
He
that.
was-
have you ever seen a spade and thought that's a spoon?
He was jumping like he just
Spade's
got a
spade,
first
bro.
kiss at the door, and he just walked in. He's like walking up the stairs, jumping on. I made it. I did it. I kissed her. I kissed her, Ma. I kissed her.
Hey, you know what? He won the game. Good on him.
got to look at it. He's basically a
Rams go to
virgin
one-
quarterback right now.
Rams go to 1-3, and they got injuries piling up.
The Rams getting that win over the 49ers, again, we'll look back at the end of the season and be like,
How? Why?
like-
Niners have got injuries piling up too, man.
yeah, but the Niners, we'll touch on this quickly. Niners against the Pats. And Brock, you picked them on Red Cup betting for the 10.5, and I was like, 10.5's a lot. That was exactly what they needed, the 49ers. They got Debo back, Trent Williams back.
Cheeky tune.
And they just meticulously tore apart a lesser opponent.
And that's fine. That's what you should do.
100%. Purdy looked good. Purdy
looked really
the
good.
only thing that scares me with the 49ers right now is that they can't pass protect. They've invested not enough in their offensive line. Other than Trent Williams, they can't protect Purdy. He's running around. He's playing really well at the moment because he is running for his life a lot of the time. So every play it was like a TikTok reel, him running around out there.
Yeah,
like,
they better button that up.
yeah, they're gonna have to play better teams than the Patriots.
What's happening with McCaffrey now? Apparently, he's got tendonitis in both his feet.
They're saying?
Achilles tendonitis.
They're saying 2 months
Yeah,
Jeez.
from like this week.
yeah.
So he's in Is he still in Germany?
No, he
He went for the
maybe,
treatment.
Maybe I don't know, but they're saying like 2 months from now, so after Christmas sort of stuff. Which silver lining it. They're doing well with Jordan Mason. They can still run the ball. The Madden curse is undefeated, 100% it is. But they're doing well. They get him back after Christmas, 4 or 5 games, maybe 3 or 4 games. Get him warmed up back
for
in
the
the thing,
playoffs, yeah.
and get him, and then get Jordan Mason just carrying the bulk. And then when you get to the playoffs, all of a sudden you go, we got to go do that we can run inside with now, and we know he's good in Jordan Mason. And here comes McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Put them both in the backfield together. It opens up a lot. They also got Kittle back on the weekend. Again, he's an insufferable bugger, but he's a really good football player.
Yeah.
And at least doesn't bash women and shit like that, like other pieces of crap in the league. He's just a bit of an annoying
He's
person.
just a goose.
He's just a bit of a goose, yeah. He's just a little bit unlikable. But that dude blocks, man. When he's playing and when he's involved in the run game, it makes such a difference.
Say what you want about him. The guy's a good football player.
He's 100% good for, and he makes a huge difference to that team. I got a lot of time for him.
Of course he does.
But yeah, good tune-up game for the old 49ers. They really needed that one. Can we talk Viking Packers?
Yeah, what a game.
Man, 28-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
And then it was almost like Jordan Love went into halftime, came out and went, oh no, I've had a couple of weeks off. I remember how to play now.
I forgot.
I've got, you know what, guys?
I remember how to play.
I got this.
Yeah.
Came back.
That's what it felt like to me watching because I watched the game on the replay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, has this kid forgotten how to play football in 2 weeks? Like, what's going on
Oh,
here?
he's just a bit rusty against
Yeah.
a good Vikings
Yeah,
team.
that's true.
You know, he was just a bit rusty.
It
but
looked,
his
it
second
looked a
half
little
looked
bit
good.
like, I don't know, he couldn't, maybe his knee was bothering him still and he couldn't set his feet right to throw. Like, he was a little bit inaccurate, like overthrowing, underthrowing. I don't know. But second half, he looked really good.
All I know is that there's no person in the world that on their NFL bingo card at the start of the season had Malik Willis to be 2-0 for the Packers and Jordan Love to be 0-2 after 4 games. No one. No one had that.
Absolutely no.
Including a revenge game to Tennessee, who threw you away like you were a crappy bag of
3
chips.
weeks before, and then he fucking came.
It's what? He's like the packet of chips you open and you're like,
Oh,
yuck, these are terrible. Throw them in the bin.
Oh, light and tangy?
Yeah, whoa.
Way.
Nah, get out of here. Get out of the bowl.
You don't like a light and tank?
Let's not say things we can't take.
It's not
back,
cheese
okay?
and onion.
Cheese and onion is a fantastic chip. It's a fantastic chip. I also remembered I promised to make PB&Js this week and I forgot, so I will make them next week.
Next week,
The
next week.
Uncrustables. I forgot about it. Food made me remember. But can we? I want to say one thing. I want to give some more flowers. It's going to be pretty common if this continues. Sam Darnold, balls on the wall, 28-2, back on the line. Like, oh god, we're in trouble here. They went on a drive now. They only got a field goal out of it, but he hit 5 first downs on it. He looked in control. The fact that Kevin O'Connell was like, a lot of coaches in that situation would just be like, well, let's just run the ball and hope, we don't want to turn over. When the momentum's flipped like that, you have to go to your quarterback. And the fact that they were able to do that with Sam Darnold, again,
Yeah.
that's on no one's bingo card.
And like,
That was not
they
no one's
weren't
bingo
running the
card.
ball. It was like, put in his hand, he's throwing the ball.
Addison came back, scored 2 touchdowns. The Vikings a couple of years ago they went 11-6 a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
12, whatever it was.
Real one
And they were
point
real pretender.
Real close
This
games,
Vikings
operator.
team is not giving me that feel.
You know who I'm excited for, and he won't be playing for another 2 years?
Who?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I think they roll with. Also, I have to apologise to you. You were right. Sam Darnold's on a 1-year deal.
Thought so, bro.
You were
when I said it
100%
at the
right.
time.
I apologise.
Like, all love, thank you. But
Yeah.
I thought so. I'm like, extend the fucking guy. Like,
Yeah,
you have
so
to.
I saw people basically saying, don't let him get off the plane from Green Bay without an extension.
100% agree.
You just give him the Baker Mayfield deal.
Give him another 2
So
years.
2 years, and you let McCarthy sit behind him.
Perfect.
Because look what happens when you sit quarterbacks behind people. Jordan Love.
Dude.
Patrick Mahomes.
I think there was a good
Aaron
one.
Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron, that was his name. I think he ended up pretty good.
He sat for a long time as well.
Yeah, I think he ended up all right.
Okay.
I'm saying you can let McCarthy sit, and then you know what? When Darnold finishes that contract, he'll only be 30 years old, and you can make that decision if he's the best quarterback in football. You're like JJ, sorry, dude.
Sorry.
Or you we'll trade you somewhere.
You can have a backup deal and sit behind, and when you come in, we'll pay you later.
100%.
JJ's still young as well.
Like maybe this. I know this sounds so obvious. Maybe this is what teams should be doing. Like maybe the Patriots have got it right this year. Everyone's screaming for them to put Drake May in. They're not a good team. They're not winning. They're not winning anything this year. What benefits putting Drake May in?
What's the point of
All it's
throwing
going to
in
do is destroys confidence.
What's the point of throwing a rookie quarterback and doing the Bryce Young treatment?
Yeah.
Like, sure, you might get a CJ Stroud and you swim and you don't sink.
They should be able. But I feel like teams should be able to assess that better.
Yeah.
They should know watching this kid in training for the 15 weeks they have him and the preseason games and all the film they have and everything they see from. They should be able to know. Like the story with CJ Stroud was that everyone was like, "This he's it."
Yes.
Like he is it, right?
No, but it wasn't though at the same time.
Oh, I remember them being. Everyone was like, "CJ Stroud's unbelievable."
He was a tough, gritty college quarterback that runs a lot,
Yeah.
and can throw a ball, but he's not very smart apparently.
Wow.
That's what That's
Do you mean Deshaun Watson?
no, but JJ is 21 years old.
Yeah.
What if he sits for another 2-3 years? What, you're going to start as a 24-year-old quarterback when you have your life
He's still
together?
getting paid. If anything, it actually is better for them contractually because they sit on their rookie deal, and then they have 1 or 2 years after their rookie deal, and they've got a chance to play. You know, if you don't play really well, there's still another team that's going to be willing to have a chance on you. Whereas if you Bryce Young it, mate, good luck to Bryce Young getting a big second contract.
Not going to happen.
He's going to end up like you know who he's going to end up like Trey Lance is what he's going to end up like.
They're paying him $5 million a year. He's on 21 for 4 years.
100%. I think that they need to re-sign Darnold, and I hope by the time we post this podcast they have
4-0, and the way he's playing, it's criminal if they don't resign.
and that team. And you know what? Do you know who I feel really happy for? Jay Jetters.
Yeah.
All the stuff in the offseason, and whether he wanted to or not, I don't know.
About leaving or whatever.
But he got paid very well.
Yeah,
Don't
he
get
did,
me
of course
wrong.
he did.
But he
And
would have
so
got
he
paid
should.
very well from any team in the NFL.
True.
He stayed with his team. He held strong. He committed to his club, and he's reaping the benefits now with a Sam Darnold just turning it around. I love that sort of stuff when a guy sticks by his guys.
A 2-year extension. The Baker deal is good. I agree.
You know who could have been like Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. If he hadn't have been like I'm jumping ship because I know Rodgers is out next year, he could have been enjoying Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like I think
Imagine
there's
him in
something.
that offense. Fuck.
Yeah, it obviously can go poorly sometimes, where you can have a crappy quarterback for like you can have Minshew, like Adams is putting up with now.
Yeah.
But I know I think that's just I'm really the Vikings are thoroughly enjoyable to watch. They play hard on both sides of the ball. They're skilled on both sides of the ball. Dallas Turner, who a lot of people thought should have been the best, the first.
Aaron Jones is a piece of stuff.
Aaron Jones
He
has
runs
got
so hard, man.
plenty left in him.
Yep.
I said it's been good. The NFC North's going to be absolutely wild run home. Do you know who is a really good quarterback? Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Do you know? Can I have the floor for 10 seconds?
Please.
Because I'm so pissed off with myself. Because I had a feeling in the offseason about these Washington football team.
You said it in your
No,
offseason.
but I backed off it. I had the feeling.
You reneged?
I did because I
don't remember that.
I didn't pick them to win anything. I said in the division, I said they were going to be last or second last in the division. They weren't going to be a playoff team. My thing was, if Jaden Daniels is good, they could be good. But what stopped me from believing it wasn't just Jaden Daniels. There was no real talent anywhere on that team. I couldn't find like the reason for it.
Scary Terry's pretty good.
Scary Terry's good. This rookie tight end Sinop or whatever they've drafted. The O-line looks better, but it's because Jaden Daniels is almost unsackable. Like he just looks like a really good Aussie rules player. You know those guys you're always like, how much time does this guy have?
Yeah.
No one ever's near him. That's what Jaden Daniels looks like. No one can ever get to him. Always, all the time in the world. And then if he wants to, he just goes bang.
They're putting up points too.
They've
I saw a
punted
stat.
like 3 times.
I saw a stat in the last 3 weeks. They've put up 100 points in 3 weeks. That's impressive, man.
It's been terrific. I said, I don't hate Washington like I have the same hatred for the Eagles and the Giants in particular.
Yeah.
We all know my feeling on them.
Yeah, fucking
Thank you. Just say I agree with you, which I do.
Bang.
But like Washington, they deserve some success. I truly believe that. They deserve some success. They had RG3 had that awesome rookie year and blew his knee to bits and was never the same.
That
They
was
lost
so
that.
sad.
It sucked. Like they've been so long in just the
In the mire.
pits.
They have. Of course they have.
I'm happy for them. I'm genuinely happy for them.
You know who I chalk it up to?
Who?
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, he's been good.
He's been very
You
good.
see him get the game ball from Dan Quinn. after
It's
the game.
almost like he's a good offensive coordinator. Couldn't do it as an OC as a head coach.
Yeah.
But he's a very, very smart OC.
That's a good call from you,
And
Brocky.
he's a very good
I like that.
tactician.
I like
he's
that.
good.
I'm going to hit you with some knowledge. I want you to write it down. It's really hard to be a coordinator when you're a head coach.
Yeah.
You think about every
Yeah.
coordinator then goes and becomes a head coach somewhere and the offense just suffers. There are a very rare few that have been able to do it.
Well-
Andy Reid, Bill Belichick,
Well, think
Sean McVay,
about it this way. A lot of the good head coaches, what side of the ball did they coach?
defense.
No. Special teams.
Oh, there are a ton of guys like that.
A
That's
lot of
very
special
fair.
team coaches,
The Harbrows.
the Harbrows,
Yep.
a lot of special team coaches, it's because they understand the whole team
Yeah.
and they let their OC do their job, they let the DC do their job, and they just manage them too.
I agree.
That's all they do.
Every time I hear, the head coach is also play calling and is the OC.
It's the worst thing in the
There
world.
are so much, like, just as a job, right? I'm not even talking about the game day and like coaching your players. Being the head coach of an NFL football team, it's a PR job.
Yep.
You need to talk to media. You need to do interviews all the time. You need to have meetings with ownership and GM. It's not just I go out every day and coach my guys. There are so many other things that they are responsible for as a head coach. It's not just down. They answer up as much as every player answers up to them. So they have a lot of pressure on them everywhere. You can't sit there for 10 hours watching film during the day because you've probably got a press conference. Then you got to go meet with the owner. Then you know what? We got a sponsorship lunch this week with our main sponsor.
So how do guys like Andy Reid and Shanahan and McVay and all that do it?
They delegate.
They're just really good at it too.
Yeah.
And they probably delegate a lot.
And they probably
Delegate.
live at the facility like
That's
24/7
like-
during the football season.
I think Andy Reid's an anomaly and Bill
Yeah.
Belichick because they're probably the two best coaches ever.
Fair.
It's
Fair.
definitely
Yeah.
they're in the argument.
I think Andy Reid's the best coach ever.
Yeah, I think I think you've got Bill Belichick as the defensive guy and Andy Reid as the
I
offensive.
think Andy Reid's better because he's won with a lot of different quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brady helped him a lot.
Made a Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb, for God's sakes.
He did,
Yeah.
and Alex Smith. I'm
And Alex.
pretty sure.
They
Definitely an
didn't-
AFC,
didn't
definitely
win-
an AFC championship.
Didn't win a Super Bowl with
They
it.
didn't win it. They
No,
made
he
it.
didn't win, but I think he made an AFC championship game, I'm pretty sure.
Either way, but like I said, I just think it's a lot harder than what people think to be a head coach. It's not just you coaching the boys.
Like what you said, like
It's not down at Croydon Rangers just coaching the boys up.
Greg mentioned the
there's-
quarterback. JR once told me, like
Shout out JL.
an OC and a DC, they might have 1,000 things to do in a day. The head coach has that times 10,
and
and they control every decision that teams make is their call. It's their head on the line.
Yeah.
How often do you see an OC get fired unless it's a shit organization and the head coach throws somebody under the
Yeah,
bus?
yeah, yeah.
it's his last like survival move.
The head coach is the one that goes every fucking time.
Also, the head coach, you said, he's got 10,000 things to do, and the OC and DC have got 1,000 things to do. Do you know who also has to hold them accountable for the 1,000 things they have to do? The head coach too.
Yes.
So he's got their job. Have you heard someone talk about the mental load? Right. He would have the mental load of going, well, has my OC done that? Like, unless you had great trust and you've created that, there are sometimes, I'm sure they've got shit OCs.
Is my running back coach doing that? Is my D-line coach doing that?
100%.
They control everything that happens in that
They would be
organization.
having meetings with the OC about what are all your other coaches doing and have they done
Yep.
what you've told them to do?
Yep.
Because do I need to step down if they're not doing it and you're not making them do it? Do I need to come down and have a chat with them as well and make sure they're doing it? It is a job. It's a hierarchy. So just to think, and I think that's a big thing. I think it's really hard. I think it's really hard to be a coach and be a great coordinator. There's not many that can do it, and the best ones, like it's a very rare amount that are actually good at both, being a head coach and a coordinator. And you could argue that Shanahan's not that good at being a head coach because he makes a lot of dumb decisions and dumb
like
time.
around like game management and time management and like that kind of thing.
That's
Yeah, I
what I
get
think
what
about
you're
Dan
saying,
Campbell a little bit at the same time. He's a he's a player's coach, absolutely. You want to play for him,
He's emotional.
but exactly, he lives on his emotions too much.
Yeah.
And sometimes your emotions get the best of you, and you don't do the best job.
Yeah.
You don't
that's
do the
fair.
best job.
That's fair.
You walk out of a job, you don't do the right idea.
No, 100%. Well, yeah, Washington. I said this is crazy from a Cowboys supporter, but I'm enjoying watching Jaden Daniels, and I'm actually happy for them. I think they deserve some success. I truly believe that. If they've got a dude, have fun.
Is it possible they win the division?
It's a chance. Jaden Daniels could be Rookie of the Year.
Fair.
From what we've just talked about tonight, do you think the Eagles or the Cowboys defense can stop Jaden Daniels?
Probably not, no. But fucking Eagles defense couldn't stop anyone. It couldn't stop the fucking Rangers the way they're playing at the moment.
Yep.
Fucking awful, bro.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm just looking at the division. Remember, they don't have to beat everyone else. If they just sweep the Cowboys and the Eagles, they'll win the division.
That's enough to win the division. Yep.
They'd be just with those wins alone. That's 7 wins.
Yeah.
They're gonna beat the Giants the second time. The Giants will be even worse by that point.
True.
Like, I'm just saying, it's good. KC pipped the Chargers late at the post. Whatever, they're 4-0, but there are big issues in KC.
Yeah.
And I got one thing to say for Rashee Rice.
Don't drive home.
Yeah, calm as a bitch, mate.
Yeah, fuck.
Because you know what? I think Rashee Rice.
Was it his other headed knee or like which one?
No, I think it's his clutch knee. So he's going to have to get an automatic.
All sports cars are automatic. It's fine.
Oh, he'll be fine then. He'll be able to hit 200 miles per hour.
Yeah, they paddle shit.
do you know, like, Henry Ruggs, who's currently in jail, right?
Yep.
Do you know the only difference between Henry Ruggs and Rashee Rice is that Rashee Rice was just lucky enough not to kill someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he had his accident.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, honestly, I don't see. They're just both young kids that have made a stupid mistake. But the big difference why Rashee Rice gets to play football still and Henry Ruggs is going to be in jail for the next 3 years is because he was lucky someone didn't die.
Yep.
Very.
And I also want to say, and I said this in our chat because I thought it might have come before the podcast, you wait now, this suspension will get picked up.
Yeah. Sure. That's where I saw
Now,
that. Yep.
now that his season's over, I guarantee you the Chiefs will be pushing everything to be like, oh, can we get this suspension done? Like, the criminal charges are pressed. Like, he's been charged. Like, can you suspend him? Guarantee you. And it sucks they lose Rashee Rice for the team, but it's somehow going to work out in their favour because he'll get a 10-week suspension now and he'll be injured.
So they got Rice out, Pacheco's out.
Yep, Pacheco back in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. Who else is out?
Travis Kelce's out.
No, he's just...
Oh, the way he's playing, he's out.
He had his best game of the year this year. He got you over for yards, not for touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't get the touchdown. I also threw a little Mahomes to get his passing yards. Didn't get that either. So.
No, Mahomes, you struggle. Like, again, Hollywood Brown's out for them, sorry.
Yeah, that's
season as well. Hollywood Brown's out for the season for the Chiefs.
Unlucky.
Yeah, like they're devastated by injury. Do they need to make a move?
At wide receiver?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna throw you a pitch.
Don't tell me Adams.
No.
Peel up if he
Adams could be one, but I'm gonna throw. I think if Adams goes anyway, he goes Jets.
True.
Who's having just a horrible time right now? A receiver that'd be really good with Patrick Mahomes. Just hating life. He's only had 64 yards in 3 weeks. He's got some real issues at quarterback. They can't get him the ball. Previous outstanding receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Tyreek. Reunion. Wow.
Nah.
Tyreek Hill has
Not gonna
already
happen.
said he doesn't want to play at the end of his contract. He's going to retire at the end of his current contract, which is 3 years. So it's 2 years after next year. If Tua pulls the pin, what benefit do you have keeping Tyreek Hill on your team? Because you're going to have to draft a rookie quarterback next year or try and find a solution at quarterback.
Yeah.
You're going to be resetting it. You've got Waddle. You just keep Waddle there. You've got him a long-term deal for a lot cheaper than Tyreek Hill.
True.
You ship him off for a first-round pick to the Chiefs. Chiefs get their guy. They get their offensive weapon. They get a first and maybe a third back, so they get another opportunity. You know, they can trade up and get a quarterback if they need to. If Tua retires,
But if they're shit this year, they're going to have a high pick anyway to get a quarterback.
yeah. But I'm just
You're saying to trade up in the draft.
I'm saying
he gets go number 1 or something.
I'm saying trade him now. Just trade him now.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
I don't mind the idea. I just don't think Tyreek's going to be the one that wants to go back to the Chiefs.
Tyreek Hill
It was a bit of a
has
rocky
been
finish,
such
wasn't it?
because they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs are willing to trade him back and pay him, who cares? Go back with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like with the situation, he's had 60 yards in 3 games. The dude almost went for 2,000 yards last year.
Yeah, true.
He had 100 yards and a touchdown in his first game with Tua, and he's had 60 yards in his next 3 games, and they haven't won, and they've scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not that outrageous to think that if the Chiefs call up and go, "Oi, give us Tyreek Hill back."
No, it's not outrageous. It's not outrageous.
I think it wins if the Chiefs are willing. If they're like, we want to win our 3rd Super Bowl to be the first team ever to win our first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Cards
good
are on the table. We've got the cap to do it.
Yeah,
We're going to lose some dudes next year. We know that on defense. The defense is what's keeping them alive right now, and they're going to lose guys next year because of the cap reasons. They're probably going to lose. They're going to lose either their center, whose names I'm forgetting. No, Linderbaum's the Ravens center.
Yep.
Whoever the center is there is really good, or Jones, who's the right guard, who are both out. They're going to lose one of them. They can't pay both of them.
Yep.
So they're going to get worse. If they want to be the first team to ever win a Super Bowl, win 3 Super Bowls in a row, that's what they have to
They're
do.
definitely going for
They
it.
need to go to Miami and go, what do you want from Tyreek Hill? Oh, we want a first, second, and third round pick. Done. Done. Cards on the table. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, they need to do something.
Creed Humphrey.
Creed Humphrey. Thank
Humphrey.
you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
he's a dog. Like, I think they'll re-sign Creed Humphrey, but I think the guard will go. But listen, they're going to start having salary cap issues. Sell out now and bring back Hill.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that wild. I don't think it'll happen, but that's what teams should be trying to do. If I'm the Chiefs GM right now, I am on Miami going, what do you want? If I can sell it, I'll get you.
They're fine without Rashid Rice.
Why?
They've got Juju Smith-Schuster
Oh, God.
ready to step in.
Who's been good? He was good when they had all their receivers. I'm really sad for Hollywood Brown that he's missed the season. I think it would have been a really good chance for
Fuck him. Should have stayed at Baltimore.
him. Well, you traded him
He wanted to go.
to the Cardinals. I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
I think someone did him dirty, and it wasn't the Cardinals.
No, he wanted to go play with Kyler Murray.
That's true. He did too. They were bros. That worked out well.
But also, I did see a very funny clip, and it wasn't true, and it really annoyed me that it wasn't true. It was Patrick Mahomes laying the hit on Rashid Rice's knee, and it was Chris Collinsworth going, that's a hell of a play from Patrick Mahomes right there. And I heard it, and I went, no, that can't be real. Collinsworth did the Ravens game. That can't be a fucking real sound bit.
AI so good.
Like, that is...
Can we also give some props to Justin Herbert playing with that ankle?
Yeah.
That
he,
poor bugger couldn't move, man.
He looks like
And
he was
he
in pain.
tried his guts out. Like I said, I don't think it's Chargers this year. They're very like Chicago Bears. They might be able to backdoor a 7 seed, but I don't. Yeah, they got John Highbrow.
Backdoor?
Yeah, have you ever heard that phrase?
I know the phrase.
Yeah, your head's in the gutter. This guy.
How dare you?
This guy. It's not a Diddy party in here, mate. All right.
Freak off.
Freak off. No, I just think I was really impressed. I think the Chargers next year, once they get some guys in the building,
Yeah.
because J.K. Dobbins, as much as I want him to be the guy, he's so slow.
He's lost step.
I
He's
feel
absolutely
sorry
lost step.
for him because he still reads it well, and
Yeah.
he's just everything looks good, but he's just so slow.
He dropped the fucking sitter
I know.
with an absolute bullet from Herbert.
Yeah.
And
Herbert's good, man.
that's the
Like,
story of Herbert's fucking career right there.
Yeah, and
He
they're
throws
just
to people's stone
just
hands.
lacking a couple of good receivers. Like Quentin Johnson, I'm seeing some hope for him. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah,
He's definitely better than last year.
Yeah, he's been. Well, I think he's already got more yards last year in his whole season than
well,
he's
it
got in the
wasn't-
can't be
first 4
hard.
games.
Wouldn't have been hard.
That was like 200 yards. So I just think they're lacking a bit of talent. But Herbert, just props to him, mate.
Pretty gritty, man. Like to
He
just
couldn't
go
walk.
out there and champ it out like he did.
He had to go to the bench and literally take sit his foot up. That's how sore it was. He couldn't put pressure on it when he was off the field. And then he limped on, went into switched on mode, got to just grit it, and then fell apart. Awesome. All right, last game, Seahawks Lions. I did say they were the softest 0-3. This was their first test. I want to say their defense was just macerated with injuries.
Dreadful.
They had no starting D lineman.
Yeah.
No starting defense, no starting linebacker. They were down to the dregs of their defense. It kind of went, they hung in there. They fought hard. It gave me actually more hope in the Seahawks today because I think the Lions are really good. And the fact that they hung with them for 3 quarters before it kind of got away from them.
Jared Goff got a receiving touchdown.
He did. That was hilarious.
That was cool. I thought that was funny.
Have
man.
you seen all the tight ends that don't have a receiving touchdown, and Jared Goff has one this
yeah.
year?
You seen the receivers that don't have receiving touchdowns? Like, it's wild. This always happens, though. It was a cool play.
Hey, Jagoff had a night out though.
Yeah, did he have an incompletion in the end?
18 of 18
I didn't have him for 300 yards and
for
3 touchdowns.
292 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and the one he hit to Jameson Williams, he was one of our breakout guys on that awesome graphic I did. You might not have been able to read it because of how good the graphic was. But I think
Graphic
Jameson
was
Williams
mid.
looked
The
good.
information was excellent.
Yeah, Jameson Williams looked really good at that big play. Kenneth Walker is an absolute dog for the
Yeah, he's good.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
If they can get their right tackle Lucas back, because Aiden Hutchinson made a meal of their third string right tackle. Again, just a bit dinged up, but I think
Hutch is a good player, man.
Hutchinson, he's big chance for Depoy. I just think that the Seahawks, they made me feel better about them today, funnily enough, in a loss. They made me. I actually think they're going to be all right.
Seahawks are going to be fine. They're 3-1. They'll be fine.
Geno Smith looks great with a proper offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was good. But the Lions rolled, and they're very good. And Jared Goff, he shut a couple of haters up this week because he's been copping a little bit of flack the last couple of weeks. And I don't know how much better you can do it than 18 of 18 for 290 yards.
You spoke on it before. That's what a good player does. He puts it on himself. He's like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to perform.
Yeah. Jared Goff is going to have a very interesting career when it's all said and done. When he tells his story about the Rams going to a Super Bowl, basically getting cast aside for nothing, then Stafford going and winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a very weird career, but it's been a good one.
It's going to be a great read.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great read. It's a great story.
Do you think this Detroit team can come out of the NFC?
What do you mean by come out of it?
As in, like,
they're already
win the NFC to make
Are
the
they trying to move
Super
to the AFC?
Yes.
Bowl?
Yes.
I think they can.
Do you know what I think? I think a team in the North is winning it.
Like winning the NFC? Yeah.
I think Vikings, Packers a lot. I think that's
at the moment, that's a fair comment.
I know people might think it's dumb saying it the Packers at 2-2, but I think what the Packers did in the second half against the Vikings showed how good they are.
For 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Like, I think
100%.
the three
Very
best
good.
teams in the NFC might be all in the North.
That's not.
And then the fourth might be Washington.
That's not a wild comment.
Because the 49ers, again, beat up on a crappy Patriots team, which was needed, but I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Rams are falling apart. I don't think the Cowboys and Eagles are there.
Nah, definitely. Eagles definitely aren't. We look fucking shocking on the weekend.
Tampa Bay might be the 4th best team in the NFC right now, or the 3rd.
They're probably going to win that division, man.
Yeah, because I agree. I agree. It's going to be good. I think what we'll do next week, we might do like our quarter season recap. We'll just go through a few divisions and see where all the teams are at. Put some forks in some teams.
Oh, there'll be some forks.
The Titans.
There'll be some forks. Don't worry about that. There's a few you can put a fork
maybe
in now.
the Bengals.
Did you also say Will Levis played 1 quarter?
Yeah.
And still had a meme created out of him.
Was it him diving?
No. It's just him sitting on the sideline or looking at the scoreboard.
Oh, wow.
Just in absolute shock. I love Will Levis. I'm so about him.
Mason Rudolph is not the greatest quarterback in the world, but shit, he's better than Will Levis.
Yeah, he came in and they looked decent. They
Jason
looked
Kelsey
competent.
in the pregame today said that Will Levis is the most exciting quarterback in the NFL. And they all looked at him and he's like, no, not because he's good. It's because we literally don't know what he's going to do on any play.
That's pretty funny.
He's like, what's more exciting than not knowing what's going to happen? He's like, that's Will Levis.
You're on the edge of your seat waiting.
I was like, you know what, Jason? I'm back on you.
I'm back
you
on
got
Jason.
Me back, Jason.
oh, yes.
Every time I think I'm out, they
We've come full
pull me
circle.
back in.
We've come full circle on Jason.
It was a very good comment. And then they were just cackled at him. That shows like they've got him and Marcus Spears. And then they've got your mate, the safety that could tackle Derrick Henry in the hole, Ryan Clark. And then, I don't know, some weird old guy. And the Spears and Kelsey are just, one's obviously white, one's black. They just larrikins.
Yeah.
Fat larrikins that take nothing seriously. Marcus Spears had his feet up on the desk at one point at the halftime show. And he's like, Jessica's like, what are you doing, man? He's like, his old knees, bro. And then Jessica's like, you're right. And then he put his feet up. It's really like Shaq and Barkley on NBA.
Yeah.
It'll wear on me, but at the moment I enjoyed it. It was very funny.
Yep.
Very funny.
Good stuff. At
All
least
right.
they're trying something different.
That's it. Should we out of here? Oh, make sure we didn't mention the start of the show. Red Cup betting, Sunday
Cup betting.
nights. Sporting Globe.
Sporting
Our
Globe, shout
awesome sponsors. Get onto the Patreon. $6 Australian a month. We give people thought it was a giveaway once a month for a voucher.
Nah.
It's once a week.
Once a week. We spin the
$25
wheel
voucher.
once a week.
Dollar bills, y'all.
So sign up to our Patreon. Again, it helps support us. It helps get us in the direction of a few things we want to get going with. It's exciting stuff coming up. Some upgrades to the studio coming.
Yeah.
Some content with some other content creators that it's coming up to, which is going to be very good.
What type of content creators?
OnlyFans.
Cool. Just want to make sure I'm across this. I might sign up.
Oh my god.
Also,
let's get out of here.
No.
please.
Before George said if we get to 10 Patreon, he'll do the Apple dance as well. So
That is a complete lie.
Make
I did
sure-
not
We'll
say-
do the brat dance.
That is a fabrication.
Hold on. What was it, George? Oh, you said yes?
yes,
Not.
that's a yes, George.
All right. Peace out,
Peace
everyone.
out. Love you, boys.